The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Anjana Dodamgoda and read by Tilani Pires. The headlines. The President says that the government will be able to consider the financial concessions and privileges requested by the university lecturers. 2022 Bank of Ceylon annual report presented to the President. The fundamental rights petition filed seeking the arrest of Pastor Jerome. Rupees 1,605 million compensation disbursed for fishermen affected by the Express Pearl disaster. The Minister of Education says from 2024 O-level and A-level exams will be held in the same year. Brazil donates a consignment of medical supplies to Sri Lanka. Heat index advisory issued warning of increased temperatures. Sri Lankan rupee appreciates further against the US dollar. And on international news, 4 children found alive in Colombian jungle 2 weeks after a plane crash. And on sports news, huge win in court for Danushka Gunatilaka as several charges dropped. The President's Media Division said President Wickremesinghe stated that the government will be able to consider the financial concessions and privileges requested by the university lecturers after the domestic debt restructuring program is successfully completed by September and the country's economy is stabilized. Meanwhile, the 2022 Bank of Ceylon annual report has been presented to President Ranil Wickremesinghe, the Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilization and National Policies, by the Chairman of the Bank of Ceylon, Ronald C. Pereira, at the Minister of Finance today. To access the annual report of the Bank of Ceylon, individuals can visit the websites of the Bank of Ceylon, www.boc.lk, and the Colombo Stock Exchange, www.csc.lk. In the future, the report will also be made available to the public and business people in both Sinhala and Tamil languages. A fundamental rights petition has been filed requesting the Supreme Court to order the Inspector General of Police to arrest Pastor Jerome Fernando and to take legal action against him for allegedly making remarks demeaning other religions. The FR petition has been presented by a group including the Venerable Alle Gunavansha Thera and several others. The petition was presented to the Supreme Court seeking the issuing of an order to the IGP and the respondents to arrest Pastor Jerome Fernando for making a statement that is offensive to religions and to enforce the law against him. The police had yesterday clarified that Pastor Jerome Fernando, who is currently in Singapore, can be arrested upon his return to Sri Lanka owing to the overseas travel ban issued against him. The Federative Republic of Brazil, through the Brazilian Cooperation Agency, donated Sri Lanka a consignment of medical supplies, including 10,000 vials of regular human insulin and 8 million polypropylene tips. The State Minister of Foreign Affairs, Tharaka Balasurya, received the donation of medical supplies from Brazilian Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Sergio Luis Canez, at the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Colombo on the 17th of May 2023. Highlighting the long-standing friendly relations between Sri Lanka and Brazil, State Minister of Foreign Affairs expressed appreciation for these goodwill gestures by the government of Brazil. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The fourth phase of the payment of compensation for fishermen who were affected by the Express Pearl ship disaster was held under the participation of Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda and State Minister Piyal Nishanta at the Fisheries Ministry Auditorium. Compensation cheques were symbolically distributed to 35 selected from fishermen and persons associated with the fishing industry in the Gampaha, Colombo and Kalutara districts that were affected by this accident. For the fourth round of compensation, the insurance company of the ship had sent to the government of Sri Lanka 1,605 million rupees, and by the end of the fourth round of compensation payment, each fisherman who lost his livelihood will receive between 112,500 rupees to 295,000 rupees, depending on the type of involvement in fishing. Even fishermen engaged in fishing activities around the Negombo Lagoon, where the fishing ban was in effect for only 22 days, will receive at least 45,000 rupees as compensation. The Education Ministry is to take measures to hold both GCE ordinary level and advanced level examinations in the same year by bringing studies back to normal and updating the examination schedule, the ministry said. While giving new appointments to 7,800 college teachers, he said that measures will be taken to solve the shortage of teachers in national and provincial schools. The minister said that the decision to hold both examinations will be made by next year. Steps will be taken to recruit teachers at the national and provincial levels among the graduates under the age of 35 who leave the universities after getting approval for the subjects where there is a shortage of teachers, such as science, technology and language, the minister said. That ends the local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The President Ranil Wickremesinghe has made all services related to the supply of electricity, healthcare, fuel and petroleum products essential services via Gazette Extraordinary 2332/12 dated 17th May 2023. The Gazette was issued under the powers given to the President under Section 2 of the Public Services Act. This announcement has been issued under the signature of the President's Secretary EMSB Ekanayaka by order of the President. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And on Watch Light tonight, the Department of Meteorology has issued a heat index advisory effective for the next 24 hours from 2:30 p.m. today, warning the public of increased temperatures. Accordingly, the heat index, the temperature felt on the human body, is expected to rise to the caution level at some places in the northern, north-central, northwestern and eastern provinces and in Monaragala district. The heat index forecast is calculated by using relative humidity and maximum temperature, and this is the condition that is felt on the body. This is not the forecast of maximum temperature. It is generated by the Meteorology Department for the following day and prepared by using global numerical weather prediction model data. The Meteorology Department has advised the members of the public to stay hydrated, take breaks in the shade as often as possible, limit strenuous outdoor activities, find a shade and wear lightweight and white or light-colored clothing. That came to you in Watchlight. Moving on with world news and the headlines first. 4 children found alive in the Colombian jungle 2 weeks after a plane crash. Chinese fishing boat sinks in the Indian Ocean. 39 on board missing. Crews work to reach Italian towns isolated by floods as cleanup begins. 4 children who were missing for more than 2 weeks after the plane they were traveling crashed in a jungle in Colombia were found alive on Wednesday, May 17th. The children aged 13, 9, 4 and 11 months were found in a thick jungle in Cacata province, local media reported. The plane, a Cessna 206, was carrying 7 people on a route between Aracura and San Jose del Guare and went missing on May 1st. Colombia's military said the 2 pilots of the plane and the children's mother were found dead on May 16th. The military said its canine units were able to track an improvised shelter made by the children along with other elements that gave them clues to the trail of the missing minors. The children were found in good health and were taken to a hospital in San Jose del Guare, and they are expected to be reunited with their families soon. The discovery of the children is a miracle, and it is a testament to the resilience of human spirit. It is also a reminder of the dangers of flying in remote areas and the importance of safety precautions. China reports today said 39 people are missing more than 24 hours after a Chinese fishing boat operating in the Indian Ocean capsized. Chinese state broadcaster CCTV said the accident happened around 3 a.m. on Tuesday. The report said the crew includes 17 from China, 17 from Indonesia and 5 from the Philippines. Chinese leader Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Li Qiang have ordered Chinese diplomats abroad as well as the Agriculture and Transportation ministries to assist in the search for survivors. Rescue crews worked Thursday to reach towns and villages in the northern Italy that were cut off from highways, electricity and cell phone service following heavy rains and flooding as farmers warned of incalculable losses and authorities began mapping out cleanup and reconstruction plans. The death toll from rains that pushed 24 rivers and over their banks stood at 9, with some people still unaccounted for, says Stefano Bonaccini, president of the hardest-hit northern region of Emilia-Romagna. Back to the world news headlines. 4 children found alive in the Colombian jungle 2 weeks after a plane crash. Chinese fishing boats sink in the Indian Ocean, 39 on board missing. Crews work to reach Italian towns isolated by floods as cleanup begins. That ends World News.
Development News.
The Galadari brothers have decided to fully refurbish its 450-room Colombo 5-star hotel at a cost of $45 million. The refurbishment includes a total facelift to the building itself. Additionally, the Khaleej Times and their media have offered their power to rejuvenate and reposition Sri Lanka in the Middle East market. Sources say 2 events will be held together with them, one tourism event and the other to draw foreign direct investment in Dubai. The Galadari Brothers Company LLC owns 63.5% stakes in the Galadari Hotels Lanka PLC established in 1984. That's development news. Coming up, sports news. A Sri Lankan cricket star who allegedly sexually assaulted a woman inside her Sydney home has had a major win in court after police dropped several serious charges. Mestiage Don Danishka Gunatilaka 32 appeared before Downing Centre Local Court on 4 charges of sexual intercourse without consent after his arrest late last year during the T20 World Cup. Police alleged the international cricketer matched with a woman on a dating app and that the pair chatted a number of times before they met on November 2nd when the alleged offences occurred. That came to you in sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The National Innovation Agency was established with the specific aim of promoting a better understanding of innovation in the fields of social sciences, science and technology, defence, environment and service, and their impact on the economy of the country. Citra Lab, a joint initiative of the Prime Minister's Office and UNDP in Sri Lanka, was instrumental in the design of the National Innovation Agency. That came to you in Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Economic News, courtesy of... For the 5th consecutive year, LOLC is awarded People's Financial Services Brand of the Year at the 2022 Slim Kantar People's Awards. As the People's Financial Services Brand of the Year, LOLC continues to place the customer first, and this has won the hearts, minds and trust of Sri Lankans, with yet another prestigious award as proof of this lasting commitment. LOLC, imagine the possibilities.
And on economic news, the Sri Lankan rupee further appreciated against the US dollar today, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka reported. Accordingly, today's buying rate is declared at 299 rupees and 21 cents, while the selling rate stands at 312 rupees and 37 cents. That was economic news.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Weather Report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the western, Sabaragamu, central and eastern provinces and in Galle, Matara, Kurunegala, Polonnaru and Mullaitivu districts during the evening or night. A few showers may occur in the western coastal areas and in the southern province during the morning as well. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. The President says that the government will be able to consider the financial concessions and privileges requested by the university lecturers. 2022 Bank of Ceylon annual report presented to the President. The fundamental rights petition filed seeking the arrest of Pastor Jerome. Rupees 1,605 million compensation disbursed for fishermen affected by the Express Pearl disaster. The Minister of Education says from 2024, O-level and A-level examinations will be held in the same year. Brazil donates a consignment of medical supplies to Sri Lanka. Heat index advisory issued warning of increased temperatures. Sri Lankan rupee appreciates further against the US dollar. And on international news, 4 children found alive in Colombian jungle 2 weeks after a plane crash. And on sports news, huge win in court for Danushka Gunatilaka as several charges dropped. That ends this news broadcast.